Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the first instalment of the New York Marathon training series. This is my second marathon of the year and I took part in the London Marathon 2019, which was back in April now. So I already knew that I was doing New York as well as doing London, and I've never had to train for two marathons in 1 year. And London went very well in terms of my training. Well, the race went fantastic. Managed a PB of 3:22. Training didn't go to plan because I was injured, but I did document on a weekly basis my training journey, and I've done it for a few years now, so I thought I'd do the same with New York. So actually, because I wasn't in routine with filming, I actually didn't film a lot of my training, but I am going to talk you through sort of how I've structured my training plan, what I did last week and what we've got upcoming. So I did 2 weeks of like pre-marathon training. If you've seen some recent videos, you would have known that I've been away on holiday. So I went away 2 holidays in June and took a lot of downtime after my ultra marathon, which was at the very start of June, the 1st of June. So that was always the plan, was to have a down month, just enjoy some rest and recovery. And then I found quite quickly that it was quite hard to get back into training after not training really much. Although I was training, but just not I'd say like intense training, or what's the word that I'm looking for, like not structured but like specific training. So because I wasn't doing any specific training, and jumping back into training for the marathon felt quite tough at first. So I'd say like because I'm calling this week 1 now, so this would have been like week -1. I just ran, and I just ran to feel. So if I felt good on one day, then I picked up the pace a little bit, and if I just wanted to go slower, I went slower. I ended up running 6 times, and then that was quite a good week. Week 0, sorry, I've got my laptop because this is where I've been storing my training plan. So week 0 was actually quite an intense week to start off with. I had 3 races. We had the MK 10K on Tuesday, which is an evening race, which didn't go too well. It was quite muggy, and I don't think that I raced well in the evening. And then on the Saturday, I had a relay event, which was fantastic. It's organised by our club. Our team came second in the female category, and then I had the Ultra 5K, which I've done a video on, which is 5 kilometres, 5 times on the hour, every hour. So I actually started week 1 of training quite tired, which was probably not the best thing for me to do, but also week 0 was like really intense for us in terms of like what we had going on at the time, and I was just putting out like really long days, like all positive, but it was just meant that actually I was just like running on like fumes and didn't realise it until like week 1 of training came around, and then that's when I really felt it. So on the Monday, James and I just did a recovery run. That was quite good actually. We were just exploring a new area. Then on Tuesday, I actually felt quite rough on Tuesday. I was planning to do intervals, but because I didn't feel too good, I just like went to the studio, did work from home, and then I ran with a client in the evening. So I just used that like on my plan as an easy run. Wednesday I then felt better, so I decided to do intervals, which I did manage to film some clips of. So today is an interval session, just a bit. So I found a path of Redway, and I've just done a mile warm up, and then now I'm going to do some 400 metre repeats, 0.25 miles. I haven't really written out a set plan for this week, just because it's only week 1. I'm on a hen do this weekend, and I am making sure that as long as I get an interval session in and a long run this week, that's all that matters. So I will get underway, hopefully be okay after this. The aim is going to be 8. If I can go for 10, fantastic, but the aim is going to be 8. So 400 metres, aiming for about 5k effort. My legs are still tired from Sunday, so it's just about doing what I can, and then 1 minute recovery. This is the reality. Oh, for not doing intervals in a while, and then exposing yourself back to previous times. However, all reps were between 127 and 131. So happy, consistent, which was the aim. brilliant, good. Normally for 400s I do 10 or 12. I was debating doing 10. My legs were like at the end of that last rep. Now, as you can hear, my heart rate is very elevated as well, but good. Session done. Woo-hoo, first week. And now just a cool down, gentle jog back home. A light workout at the gym and also taught core classes, which I always do on a Wednesday. So again, I always do this. I like go a bit easy, and then I like, because I feel good again, I'm like, right, let's just try and cram everything into one day. So then on the Thursday, I didn't feel that great actually at all. So we just did an easy run, and James had to really drag me out for that. I think we did just over like about 5k, so that was used as a recovery run. I was then on a hen do at the weekend, so I had to mix my training plan around. I had to do a long run on the Friday. I wouldn't say that it was a bad or a good long run, it was just kind of like I did it. And that was off the back of, if I'm looking at the plan now, that was my 8th day of running without any rest. So probably that might have been what that was. But then I had the weekend to recover, and then back to week 2, and it's like currently week 2 and I'm feeling a lot better about training. So week 1 I wouldn't say went to plan really at all. At the moment we're experienced that it's like quite hot, it's very muggy, and basically I just overdid it the week before. So that's just a bit of my own fault. I did think before going into like week 0 with the 3 races, is that really a good idea? I always say that myself, is like, if you do too much too quickly, if you do anything like stupid, you're going to get injured. I was really apprehensive about getting injured at the Ultra 5k, but I didn't, which is really good. So we're starting okay. I was just tired, and that was my own fault. So week 1, like I think, let me have a look at my Strava. I think so, like week 1 I didn't actually do many miles, so I had 2 rest days. Oh, I can't see it on my, oh yeah I can. So week -1 we did 31.6 miles, which was quite good. Week 0 we did 37.6 miles, but that included the Ultra 5k, so that's what bumped it up quite a lot towards the end of the week. And then week 1 was 24.5 miles. We were due to do, at the hen do, we were due to do a park run, but the bride didn't want to do it. She was just said, we thought it'd be fun. She is into running, it's not like we're going to force her to do it, but she just said, no, I'm not really feeling it on the Saturday morning. She just wanted to enjoy the time with everyone. So that was mileage that I didn't account for. And then when I got back on the Sunday, I thought, oh, there's no point in me going out just for another run for the sake of going out for a run when I'm tired. I thought I'll just take it as an extra rest day and start week 2 on a better note than I did week 1. So the intervals were actually quite good, and the long run was good too. I did 10 miles in total, so it was a good start, a good base, and just looking forward to progressing as we continue. Now, going back to like the structure of my plan, normally like in the winter for London, like my plan was pretty set, like everything I did like quite routine. You know, the long runs was on a Sunday, I always did intervals on a Tuesday, Thursday was then another kind of workout, and then in between that was sort of like recovery and easy runs, and like Wednesday I'd do like a mid-long run sometimes, and then I just work strength training and like core work and yoga and around that. However, because of the summer, with social events going on, so this weekend we're in week 2 now, and it's the wedding of the hen do that was last weekend. I've got another wedding upcoming in August, one in September. We're going away. What else have we got on? Oh, we've got loads of stuff on, like just parties, barbecues. I'm going to a festival for a few days, so things are going to have to change around slightly. The aim is to run like around 5 times a week, 6 if I can, and then it's just getting in the key sessions. So rather than like having, like I knew what my structure was at the start of the year, now the key sessions are just going to be try and fit in around that, and if I can do any extra other stuff, it's going to be fantastic. So key session number 1 is always going to be the long run. Long run needs to be done at a pace which is slower than your target marathon pace. I at the moment am averaging around sort of like 8:20s, 8:30s for my long runs, and my PB pace is 7:40. so I'm definitely running easier than my target pace. Next key session is intervals. I'm writing them myself just based on like my knowledge, coaching my clients before James has done my plan in the past, just for accountability's sake, so that I don't like wimp out with stuff or I manage to push myself enough. However, James is really busy with work at the moment, and I haven't just like, I don't want to put that on him to ask him to do it when he's really busy. So because I've been having to chop and change stuff, it's actually worked okay for me just doing it myself. Maybe when we get in later into the plan, I'll ask him to do it, but at the moment I've just been setting my own intervals based on what I've done previously and what I know that kind of works for me. If I can get another session in, then it definitely will be some form of tempo run, and I've been using that the last few weeks in terms of races. I've got another race, not this weekend coming, but the next weekend, using that as a tempo run. So that's always good to get those kind of sessions in. So not going for all out, but still getting a good workout in. And then around that, building in easy miles when I can. Later on in the plan, I'll try and build in some like longer mid-long runs, especially hopefully when some long runs return to Sunday and I can do something midweek. Main thing is just not to load it up too much, not to do workout sessions or long run sessions back to back. Make sure you give yourself a day's rest in between and recovery, because that's the main thing, is that if you do too much, you're going to overload yourself and you're not going to get the adaptations that you require to get quicker, or basically you're going to get injured. So you need to, so I did that I've already done that in week 0 before I did week 1, is that I basically just did too much in 1 week, but that was a misbalance of both racing and stuff going on just with like my personal life and work stuff, just in a, as I said before, in a positive way, but it was just full on that week, and so I probably bit off more than I could chew. So week 1, we started off okay, but I'm happy that I did everything that I wanted to do, although maybe it didn't go as great as what it did. But you know, we have these weeks where they're good weeks, they're bad weeks, and I know now that you've just got to take it as it comes. We're only at the start of the training, so I'm not going to feel like, oh, week 1 didn't go very well, so the rest of the training is going to be like that, because it's not like that at all. But I know that the heat's going to be a bit of a factor over the upcoming months. However, I do think that New York in November time historically is like normally quite can be quite windy, and also can be wet. So it's just like the opposite of training for London, really, isn't it? When you train in the winter and then on race day it could turn out to be an absolute scorcher. So yeah, I'll leave you with that final thought. But I hope that this video has not been too boring, me sat down talking to you, just telling you what's been going on and updating you. But week 2 should be a lot better in terms of like the content that I've got going on. I have remembered to film so far. We're like a couple of days into week 2, so I have remembered to film. So see a little bit more of me with my hair in a pineapple, a bit more sweaty. So thank you very much for tuning in. If you've got any questions about my training or anything that you want to see in the next sort of 15 weeks plus about what I'm doing, then let me know, because obviously I want to make sure these videos are useful and informative. Or if you just want to watch what I'm doing, then just tell me that's what you want to do. But thank you very much, and I will see you all at the end of week 2 with hopefully a much more interesting update.